are back live. Welcome to another Sunday night edition of the Paranormal Voice. I am, of course, your host, Dale, and we have got some amazing guests coming your way. We are going to be talking about our favorite subject, and that, of course, is none other than aliens. Who doesn't love good talk about aliens? And I mean, they're popping up more and more in the news again. Like I said, I had somebody send some stuff to me a little bit earlier. I'm gonna try to get it out there on the air in just a little bit. But guys, I just want to say thank you. I appreciate you guys for popping in. Hello, Sylvia. How you doing? It's good to see you. But yeah, no, my two guests tonight are truly two amazing people that mean a lot to not only the Paranormal Voice, but to me and Michael John and as a whole. But before I bring on, I just want to quickly put out there, I just want to say thank you to our sponsors this month. Of course, Paraware, Amber Cummings, and her husband, Jason. They have the most phenomenal paranormal gear. Excuse me. And t-shirts that you can wear, all kinds of amazing things to wear your paranormal pride proudly. So, guys, you can see the QR code is on the screen right now. All you have to do is just scan that QR code, takes you right to their store, pick up some of that paranormal gear, support our sponsors. It is such an amazing, they are such amazing people. So, whatever you can do, help these guys out. But with that being said, we are going to get right into this because I know this is going to take more. It's going to be one of those shows that's going to take more than an hour to get through because we have a lot to talk about. So, right now, I'd like to introduce two of my closest and amazing friends. Of course, Deb and Arjay DeRosse. Hello, guys.
Hello. Hi, Dale.
Well, welcome back to the Parent Voice. It's so good to see you guys. It's been quite a while since we've been able to talk. You guys have been
Yes.
busy getting all prepared for this year's up and coming UFO Contact Convention. Of course, this is number
Yeah.
6.
Well, number 7, but it should be number 8
That's
because
right.
we had to take COVID off.
Yeah, had to shut down the world for a year. That was a crazy year that we're still talking about after
Oh,
all these
yeah.
years.
Yeah. We're still feeling it, aren't we? But I'll tell you, it made us really appreciate being able to hug a friend, right?
Oh, that, and I mean, like even right now, um, it is one of the weirdest things that to be told you cannot cross the border because the borders were obviously closed, shut down at that time. And how many, you just, when that gets taken away from you, you never know how much it really truly affects you until you cannot go over, not only to see your friends, your family, and just to get a hug. Like I said, it
Yes.
was a truly an amazing time. And there's our good friend Rhonda. Welcome, Rhonda. We appreciate you. We love you, girl.
Yes. Hi,
But
Rhonda.
yes,
Hi, Sylvia. And
but
can I give a shout out also for Jason and Amber? They're awesome, and I do encourage everybody to, scan that little QR code there. They're
yes, no,
fantastic people.
they've exploded on the scene ever since they came up with their clothing line. And Jason does his wood burning carvings, and I'll tell you, two truly amazing, passionate people that I'm glad that I get to know over these years and hang out and talk whenever we possibly can. But yeah, no, I love supporting people who are out there just trying to do something in this world. But yes,
Right.
and of course, Rondo, I know you can't wait to go to the UFO Contact
Oh,
Convention.
we can't
It's
wait to
going
see you, Rhonda.
It is going to be an amazing year this year for sure because you've got so many amazing guests. We are going to talk about those guys in just a little bit, but we are just going to be talking about a UAP. Now, I don't know if I actually asked you guys before, but why did they switch from calling it a UFO to now a UAP? Like, were they offended? Did they get politically hurt that we called it UFOs?
Well, I mean, personally, and I'll let RJ have a say too. Personally, I think it was the government saying, we have control here. We're going to call it what we want instead of what you've been calling it. So instead of, unidentified flying object, it's unidentified aerial phenomenon. What's
Right.
the difference? It's the same thing, but
Yeah, I'm not sure why they changed it. And we all came on board for some reason. Everybody started using that term. And by the way, I want to say thank you for having us on tonight, Dale.
yes.
And hi, everybody. I told you it's my first podcast in about a month and a half, so I've been dealing with some health issues, but so good to be back and talking again. So it's just, to me, it was just to bring more confusion into the field, just to make people, I don't know. I mean, especially us older people. We've been talking about UFOs since the 50s and 40s,
Well, yeah. I mean, it's been a term that, I mean, it's more associated with the aliens, but like I said, yeah, aerial phenomenons, UFOs, flying objects. I mean, they're one and the same. Updating terminologies. I mean, it's always been, um, yes, lots of people on the site. Definitely, RJ. We're so happy you are with us tonight. I've been praying like a madman for a whole week since Deb said, "Yeah, we'll do Sunday," and then it was like, "Okay, let's pray RJ is strong enough to come on and show his face and show how well you are doing."
Yeah, I want to give a shout out to all these people that have been doing the same, giving me prayers and sending healing and all that. I really appreciate it. I'm working, trying to get back to get this heart going right. I got another procedure coming up in September, but I don't want this to be about me tonight. But I just want you to know that I really appreciate and I love all you people. Thank you so much.
Yeah, no, I mean you are definitely a well loved and a well respected man in the paranormal field, and I mean you bring a lot of knowledge and a lot of good talks to us, so yeah, we're just glad that you're back on the mend, you're getting better, and that somebody's sending you a hug emoji. There we go.
Yeah.
um, but yeah, no, I mean, I've noticed it the last little while. I'm sure you guys are on top of this because this is what you guys do is follow all the UFO sightings and everything that's been going on. But there was somebody sent me something that says there was a giant comet or an alien ship that's coming our way, and its name is the 31 Atlantis or something like that. I was
Yes.
like, okay, I'm like, I definitely got to ask these guys something like this. I was like, wow, they actually got names on their ships now. Now we're getting more into this. This is getting real because when like we name all of our big luxury ships, and now UFOs are getting named.
Well, supposedly this has been seen by the new telescope we have up there. It's heading our way, but there's a lot of people in the ufology field that are warning us that it's a false flag and that this is their moment to take over, control, that we're being invaded, and I understand all that because it very well could be, because we've talked about that for a long time, for the last 5-10 years, that's a possibility. But then again, what if it's true? So we have to keep that in mind. Again, they've got us on pins and needles, but if it's real and we all just say, it's just fake, then we're going to be really surprised. But if we're all worried and feared and scared that this thing is going to come and take us over, and nothing happens, then shame on them, shame on us.
True. And I mean, for people that have ever attended your event, the UFO Contact Convention, which is coming up on year seven, like I said, 7 years, and you guys have made major breakthroughs. Like, people have come to your event and actually opened up about experiences. And I mean, this is one of the great things about your event is people can come and open up and without the fear of being judged or ridiculed or being called names, and
Right.
just to be able to say, hey, this is what happens to me. And you guys always have the most amazing panel of guests that somebody there can really help somebody who doesn't know what they've been through or how to describe it. But somebody on your panel always seems to be able to say, yes, this is what we think it is. And you guys, I mean, you guys always put your 2 cents in. You guys are lifelong experiencers yourself. Many viewers of our show heard your story. If you want to, if you can, please tell the story again, because I know we have some new listeners in the audience. Can you guys just give us maybe the first time you guys have each had yours? Because I know they were separate, right? They were not together.
Right.
So
Yeah, we actually
if
we
you
actually
guys
did.
want to go over and just talk about possibly the first time you've ever had your first experience.
Go ahead.
Well, as a small child, I used to see these shadow figures in my room. I was scared to death. I spent many nights with my parents in their bed, and of course they thought it was my imagination. But I'd get under the covers, I'd feel these things walking in my bed, and I just, because I was connected to this all my life, even before I got here. So the big thing for me was in 1975, I went backpacking with a friend here in Michigan, and so I'd never been backpacking before. It was pretty kind of cool. We're just going to go overnight, and we were camping on a river. And during the day, these bombers would fly by real low from the Air Force Base, which I didn't realize I was close to that. And they were so low, I could read everything out of them. You couldn't talk when they went over. And I didn't think much of it, happened a few times during the day. And at night, we went, well, before it turned dark, we went for a hike, and we got back at dark. And there was a high bank across the way. And my buddy said, somebody's camping over there. There's a fire or something over there. It was a big orange glow, I said, oh my God, I hope the forest is on fire. So next thing I know, this orange ball popped up top of the treetops. And we kind of looked at each other. Did you see that? Yeah. And then it came up, and then it moved right. And we said, which way is it moving now? Right. Then it moved left, and then it came down, and then it came down out over the river and down in front of us about 1 o'clock. And, my buddy didn't know anything about this. So he was actually shaking me. What the hell is this, So I said, I don't know. It's got to be UFO. Luckily I had older brothers and my family was into this stuff, so I started concentrating. Out loud I was saying, "Who are you? What do you want?" And it made no noise. It was probably, I don't know, 12 feet around, and I got no message back, and my buddy's just staring at it, freaking out. And then it kind of way up a little higher there, and it started coming in towards us and back. Now, people say, what kind of drugs were you on? Well, I'll be honest with you. We did smoke a joint earlier today, but nothing like they have now. This is 1975. Right. And we had one bottle of wine that we drank on the way out there. So definitely weren't high on anything else. So this was going on, and as this orange thing would come in, closer than back. And I was trying to concentrate, and somehow, I don't know why, but I was concentrating on how to talk to it and see if I could get some telepathic messages. And the next thing I know, we were laying on our backs. We don't remember it leaving. And I looked over him, and he looked at me, and he's like, what happened? I said, I don't know. Now, we had no cell phones. No, we didn't have a watch on. I can't tell you how long, but I think in my mind, this thing took place in about maybe 20, 25 minutes. So we went to our tent, went to sleep. Some guys came by the next day, and I asked them if they saw anything. They looked at us like we're funny. So I lived with this all my life. In 19, I think it was 91, the show, UFO show came on. I'm trying to remember the name of it. Anyway, I was watching the show, and it said in 1975, in October, this was in July, when orange balls came in, or lights came into the Air Force Base, Smith Air Force Base there in Michigan, the one we were next to. When I say next to them, maybe 30 miles away.
Right.
And and it shut down all their nuclear weapons. And they chased this thing all the way out to Lake Huron down to Saginaw Bay, and it just took off and left them there. So, my mouth is like, what? So, and there were other people that saw it and other people that talked about it too. They saw the same thing that night that weren't on the Air Force Base but other places. So it was documented. Now, like I said, that was in October. We saw it in July. I think it was a precursor because, they were keeping an eye on these planes. And back then the Cold War was kind of still going on, but not, so they were checking it out. They don't want us to kill each other,
Right.
That's the thing. So anyway, it within a 2-week period, or, it went to Smith Air Force Base in Michigan, I think one in Rhode Island and one in Montana or North Dakota there. So, and did the same thing, shut down their nuclear weapons. So, of course, people, that's the Russians and all that. No, it was they don't want us to do that,
Right.
They've been warning us since the 50s, or since we dropped the bombs, you can't do this.
Right.
So, yeah, and that was my experience, but I've had many since then. We've had sightings together. Lots of times I've been visited in my dream state by them because they can do that. That's how they communicate. So lots of different experiences we both had, especially since we've gotten together. So we just felt it was time to get this out, Mm-hmm. And our convention does deal with experiencers. And that's what we like about it, because even most of our speakers are experiencers, and we just want people to talk about it and get it out. And like you said, people for the first time get to say something about it, and they feel relief that they got that out.
Yeah, because for anybody who's had an experience of any kind, may it be paranormal, may it be UFO, even cryptid experiences, it's hard for people because unfortunately the world can be cruel and mean, and unfortunately we are surrounded by a lot of people who do not believe in what we all believe in. And I say often that it's hard. How can people be so hard pressed to say that we are definitely not being visited or being surrounded by other elements of the world, such as aliens and ghosts and cryptids? And this is a great big world. There is a lot of unknowns.
Yeah.
To shame people for talking about an experience is, to me, it's not for us to judge. It's an experience. Nobody knows if it's right or wrong or what happens, and everybody, as we've seen, being a part of your event for the last 3 years now, the many people we've talked to and the different experiences have been truly mind blowing, and it's amazing that events like this are out there to give people that space to come and talk, be comfortable, and not and know that there's no judgment. It's a judgment free zone, and that's what I love most about most of these conventions.
Right.
Is that it's all about like-minded people, and like I said, it's family. It's all about getting together and sharing, because this is how we're really going to know, is by sharing our experiences with one another, so that the people that are working in this field, like you guys, can bring all this database, and how can people we don't even know but have similar experiences or sightings as the same as people? Like, I mean, you guys probably hear this more than I do. Is like, oh, there was a big sighting of something in the sky over Michigan, and then all of a sudden, like, you guys hear all the different reports about it. So how people all over cannot be wrong without seeing something in the sky that
Right.
is a UAP, a UFO, a flying disc, whatever. However, or flying rice is a more common one too. But yeah, like I said, it's so crazy. Candace, how you doing? So good to see you. Thank you for joining us. So Deb, let's get over to you and let's hear
Yeah.
your experience.
Well, mine was different. I do want to say thank you, Dale. We live in a multi-dimensional universe. There's so much going on that we don't see with the human eye. It's unbelievable. My experience, I'll hit on that just a little bit, happened, my big experience, I'm going to put it that way, happened in 2016. We were actually setting up to do the world's largest ghost hunt. And I was a medium on the team, and Brian Kano had asked all mediums be open, just for like a week before the event, be very open to whatever wants to come through to you. So we were setting up, and I was very open, and I'm driving home about 1 a.m. by myself after doing this, and I was just kind of driving along, and all of a sudden I didn't feel right. I didn't feel good. It's like I got nauseated. I got super hot. I heard this tone in my ears. I can't even say it's a noise, but a tone that threw me. So I thought, oh my God, where am I? I'm close to my sister's. Maybe I better get off the road. And I looked down at the clock to see what time it was. It was 1:11 in the morning. So 1:11 in the morning. And as I'm looking down, I felt all of my hair everywhere just standing up. And I thought, what the hell? So I'm looking up and I see this bright gold light. And I know this is going to sound crazy, but it was shaped like a pyramid, huge, like football field size, over my car. And it was lowering and kind of turning real slow at the same time. And my skin is hot, my hair is standing up, my ears are buzzing, I don't feel well, and I'm thinking, that's it, I'm dead. I don't know what this is, but that I'm going to die here. So I wanted to take my hands off the steering wheel, and I couldn't. I could not move anything.
All the lights came on, right?
The interior lights in my car bogged right down, just bogged down to almost a complete stop. And maybe it was a complete stop. And the interior lights came on. And I'm thinking, I need to turn them off. I need to do something, but I can't move. And then all of a sudden, I was in my driveway. That was just up like a mile down the road.
Wow.
And I get out of my car, and it's like, what the hell just happened? So to make a long story short, I paced all night. I was a wreck. My ears hurt. I sent a message to one of our team members, Beth Gilmer, you know her, and said, you're not going to believe what just happened. Now, I ran into my house, sent that message immediately. Remember, I was only a mile away. Didn't realize until 2 days later when I was talking to Bill Konklowski, the Michigan MUFON director, that he said, go back and get that message. So I went back to our conversation, and I realized an hour and 9 minutes had passed.
Wow.
Yeah. At that point, I was just devastated. I'm going to openly say in my youth, I was raped. And I had a lot of that same sensation that I felt very vulnerable. I felt violated.
Invaded.
It was very traumatic for me.
Right.
Not that they harmed me, but the taking me, the not knowing, the not having permission. You know what I mean? So after that happened and I started working on it, I realized, and it took many months, probably a year or so, before I realized I've been having contact all my life and didn't know it.
Right.
Times that I would be driving somewhere and end up in a whole different town and not have an idea where I was at. I just thought I was nuts with things that happened. So after that, it was actually only a few months after that, our paranormal season had come to an end. We had no speaking engagements, no anything going on. And RJ and I are sitting at our dining room table. And he said, boy, I'm kind of glad this season's done. I'm tired. It's a good time for a break. And I looked at him and said, but we're going to put on a UFO conference. Now, I can tell you, I did not think that thought had been downloaded. I knew I had gotten downloads and just came out of my mouth. And we were both shocked. But right away, we knew, okay, this is something we have to do.
Right.
So every contact that we made, starting with, I think, Nick Redford,
then,
just everything fell into place.
Right.
So this is an event that is put on by experiencers for experiencers. We're not a contact in the desert. We don't try to make as many celebrity appearances as we possibly can. We want people there. The speakers are celebrities, but they're down to earth and people who have had experiences, people who have been in the field for a long time, who can help.
Don't get us wrong. We still have some people that kind of deal with the nuts and bolts of it, the scientific part of it. Mm-hmm. And we also bring in different paranormal people that are in the ufology field, the Bigfoot people. And so we kind of, we want to make it, as, I don't want to say as broad as possible, but I want to say just, or entertaining, but, people, there's a connection with all this paranormal stuff, Bigfoot and UFOs and all that. So we just want to make that connection and have people see that it's all connected.
You nailed it right on the head when you said this is a convention put on by experiencers for experiencers. And that is exactly the amazing approach that anybody who has been to the UFO Contact Convention over the last several years knows. Like, when you walk in there, you don't walk out the same way you walked in, especially to brand new people. And I've witnessed firsthand being a part of your event, and I always tell you how grateful I am that you guys have made the Paranormal Voice a part of your event. It's as a lot of people know, and I don't make, and it's hard for me to keep saying it, but it's unfortunate the Paranormal Voice will not be there this year. And it is that was a difficult decision for us to make, but it's because it's one of those events that we love to cover, because you guys, everybody involved, from the speakers to the people who attend, make it such a special event. It's not just like a regular convention. It is just a group of people like-minded who have had great experiences coming together to talk about it. And it's the UFOs, the paranormal, the ghosts, and the cryptids. They're all interconnected in one way or another. Uh, and a lot of people who go there learn this and get to see and to get to talk about what it is that brought them, because it's, I don't say it's by chance that people come to your event. It's they're drawn to your event. And I think it was Andrea Perrin the first year we were part of the Michigan Paracon, or the Michigan UFO Paracon. She said that people have experiences either days leading up to coming to your event as well as days after coming to your event. And that is so true, because Michael John really had an eye-opening experience just the week leading up to your event, which he did talk about
Right.
at your event for the first time. And yeah, to come to find out, just like you guys, like he's been having visitations most of his life. It's just now it's coming to the surface. And that's a question I want to ask you guys. Why do you think this is? Like what would be your idea behind, like, as being visited to children, we don't really remember, but as it keeps happening as adults, but then you have amazing panelists like Mary Bassett, who does regression uh, with people who believe they've had an experience, to be able to open their mind up to really be able to understand their experience. Now, back
Well,
to the original thing is, why can't we remember, but then all of a sudden we do? Is this their plan? Is this the way they want it to be with us?
yeah, I'm glad you asked that because I want to understand this to our listeners. You know, the history of this planet goes back millions of years. We've had other civilizations here, from there, out there, and here, and we did have a catastrophe about 13,000 years ago. People call it the Great Flood, whatever, call it whatever you want. But and since then, we've been kind of there's a group that was, in my opinion, has taken over, has kept us kind of in the dark for a while. But the biggest way to get everybody ascending in the right direction, the final straw, is to have everybody understand we're not alone and that there's a whole multiverse universe out here. And that opens up our ascension and our minds to go beyond what we're doing, and instead of just the mundane little physical stuff we do every day. So, so that this is happening now. This is the way they do it. This is the way they wake us up and get back to where we're going, and we're supposed to be, because we're a little behind now. And if you think about it, it took what 7,000 years, or 8,000 years for us to get in a plane and a space in a rocket and go to the moon.
Right.
So in the past, other people must have done it too, because they were being visited. And the next thing we know, we're going to be in contact with these people again, and we're going to know what's going on. And this is what's happening right now. So, but some people don't want that, because the people that have been in control, they don't want us to be knowledgeable and know what's going on. What? No, we can't have this. You can't interrupt my system, interrupt my money and everything else, but they can't stop it.
Right. And I mean, it being visited is nothing new. I mean, there is stories going back.
Bible, everything else.
We're talking hundreds of years. I mean, they're finding UFO symbolizations on Egyptian walls of them talking about the aliens. So, I mean, this is far cry of something that's brand new.
Right.
But I also want to touch on something that Deb was talking about, downloads, which is often talked about. Maybe, Deb, you can explain what a download would mean, and maybe somebody who does not realize they're getting a download, how it kind of feels.
Right. Well, first of all, Dale, I wanted to say that we are spiritual beings. This physical body is how we are visiting this planet right now, but we are spiritual beings who have been here for a long, long time. Our soul remembers, and we
Right.
come to a point in our ascension where it's time for us to remember and our souls to embrace what's going on.
Yeah.
So when you have contact, like we have now had contact with many different types of beings, it's almost always, it is always telepathic communication. So telepathic is, sometimes we think it's a thought. All of a sudden, this thing like, oh, we're going to put on a UFO conference. That did not go through my brain and out my mouth. It literally just came out my mouth.
Right.
So that's a good way to know that a download is coming out. Sometimes as you're getting a download, people report having a big time ringing in the ears or hearing something or feeling lightheaded, feeling dizzy, sometimes off balance, or they wake up from sleep and they know that there was something important happening during the dream time. They don't quite know what, but they know there was something. And then later, something will come out or something will happen. So that's, when we say downloads, that's information that has been given to us without the brain really being involved. And then it is used how it's supposed to be used. It's really nothing to be afraid of. It's basically, it's the same thing as psychic information.
Right.
Or I'm a medium, I'm a lifelong medium. And when I communicate with spirits, sometimes I hear with my ears, but many times it's through telepathic communication.
Right. It also can be a euphoric feeling too. I mean, it can be a good feeling. And wow, where did that come from?
Right.
Why am I thinking about that?
Right.
Somebody's putting the information in you, getting a download. So
right.
Yeah.
Now I can say, Dale, when I began remembering my experience from 2016, I literally, my first day and a half back, I had this weird, almost like a pain, a feeling on my forehead, and I kept rubbing my head. And as I was getting information, I saw them. Literally saw them pulling a piece of what I call electrical tape, because I don't know what the hell it was, but something black off of my head. And I just somehow knew that was information that they were giving. And it's almost like they were taking a download out of me.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, we did a pretty intense meditation together where we're lying down head to head,
crown to crown,
and we got some pretty cool information. I mean, you saw that, and I saw us just, floating in space with all these big giant beings around us, telling us that it's time.
Right.
We are one.
Yeah. So
now, also too, and this is one of the things that I've taken away all these years at the UFO Contact Convention, is that when we get downloads, they're not necessarily spontaneous things. They're downloaded into us, but you might not know what it was or what it's meant to be until the time is right.
Right. Yeah. Yep.
Like, they can send you these things for future use, and all of a sudden you're like RJ says, why do I know that? How? That doesn't sound like something I would think about.
Right.
But that is truly amazing. I mean, growing up as a kid, when we got ringing in our ears, we were always told that it was because somebody was talking about us. So that usually that's when people say, "Oh, I had a ringing in my ear." I don't try to freak them out, going, "Yeah, you're getting a download. Wait for that one." You know,
tell little kids that, although today they know everything. So
yeah, but so these are the kinds of the amazing things that are talked about at your event and some of the stuff that's experienced. So I just want to talk about some of the guests that you've got this year. Of course, you have Jason Kenzie coming on, and a remarkable documentary guy who has been flooding the mainstream with all of his documentaries about looking for Bigfoot.
right.
Met him last year at your event. Truly amazing guy. He was in Michigan. He was filming some areas up in Michigan, and I do have to say this for a lot of people who've been to your event. There was one gentleman that was there every year. It's unfortunately he's not going to be there this year, which was Rob. Truly amazing author, documented a lot, very knowledgeable. For those in the community know that for his last name is shredding me right now, but Rob
Daily.
was
Rob
yeah,
Daly.
Yeah.
truly an amazing gentleman, and so shocked to hear about his passing earlier this year. He's going to be missed at your event. But yeah, he went with Jason and the She Squatchers and went out to this one area. And somebody brought back an amazing photo of Rob's ear.
Yeah.
It looked like something was coming out of him, and it had a pointed ear. It was so fascinating.
Yeah, he was very in touch with the elementals. He that was part of his life that he was in
Right.
contact with those. Yep.
But so people like that. But let's talk about some. So Jason Kenzie, of course, well known documentary. You can find his. I watch a lot of his documentaries on Tubi. That's where I can. That's where over here in Canada I seem to be able to find him. But you can follow him. Give it. I'll let you guys describe Jason and what he is going to bring to this year's UFO Con.
Well, Jason is a hoot. He's highly intelligent. He's amazing with a camera. And, anybody who has spent time researching Bigfoot kind of gets that link. Ooh, there's something going on here between, it's all connected. It's all multi-dimensional, right? And he just gets that. So he's going to, trying to nail him down on, okay, what is your topic?
Right.
Right now, it's whatever he wants it to be.
Right.
He's kind of, he wants to bring some information on both, on the connection.
He'll play by ear.
But he's phenomenal, and everything that comes out of his mouth, I don't know about you, Dale. I love listening to him because it's like, wow. So yeah.
Yeah, he's an amazing filmmaker. Doc, he interviews all kinds of cool people, experiencers in that field. So yeah, we're excited. We don't, I know he's going to just bring some cool stuff. We don't have to worry about that.
Yeah.
And the thing that I like about him the most is he's Canadian.
Yeah, he's your fellow
He
countryman.
is.
Yeah,
He is.
Yeah.
And we
He got
love
to
our
start in
Canadians.
British Columbia, BC. Like,
Right.
yeah, if there's a Bigfoot in this world, it's definitely in British Columbia.
Yeah, I agree.
Mountains to no end and tree lines that go on forever. And but yeah, I mean, he is truly an amazing guy and really knows his stuff. Like, this is not just something that he just picked up. This has been, and talking to him last year, like, he really started out, he was just documenting animals in their like their natural behavior.
Right.
And now this all transformed into going around the world chasing Bigfoot and documenting everywhere he goes. So
Right.
truly great addition to this year's UFO Contact Convention for sure. And Another amazing speaker that you guys had there for the last couple of years, a lady that I could just sit there and listen to all the time is great. Of course, is Deb Cobble, another lifelong experiencer. Her story was actually turned into an episode of a TV
Miniseries.
show, a
Yep.
miniseries.
Yep.
Her book that she has for sale at your event documents what that was about. Let's talk about Deb. Like I said, she is such a beautiful lady, and I mean fits so well in there. You guys are. She's also a panelist on your other show, Voices of Contact,
Voices of
which airs
Contact.
every Friday night at 8 p.m.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for that plug.
Yeah, Deb's, she was the main character in Bud Hopkins' book, The Intruders. She's a lifetime experiencer, and she's been doing all kinds of TV shows lately and some MUFON stuff. And she's just a very intelligent lady. She's well knowledged. For sure.
She's a Mensa member.
Yeah.
She knows her stuff for sure. But many cool things about Deb is that, in her case, there was also a lot of physical evidence.
Yes.
So, I mean, it's a case that you really can't deny. There's too much physical evidence. And she still lives with, some physical things in her own body from contact.
And Bud Hopkins contacted her and actually flew her out to New York to be interviewed by him. And once Bud Hopkins realized what was going on, he came to her house several times, and they went through the whole scenario of what happened. She's had experiences beyond that, and she knows it. Back then it did freak her out because she didn't know what was going on. But now that she's so knowledgeable about it, she understands.
Well, she was also an investigator with MUFON for many years.
Yeah.
She's been very involved. Once you become an experiencer, many things happen on a spiritual level and a physical level. You really just, number one, want to know what happened, why me, all of that. And so, Deb has been through all of that.
Yeah, and that's another thing I'd like to kind of just make people well aware. There's nobody better to help you to understand an experience than somebody who's actually been through it themselves.
Exactly.
They make some of the best teachers and people who can help us understand what it is that we've experienced during and some of them are traumatic and have, it's to a point, it's like being abused where you just can't get over those experiences. And it's great that people like Deb and you guys are there to kind of ease that little tension off of people. Now, of course, the next person I would love to talk about, somebody who I've had a lot of interaction with, of course, the lovely Mary Bassett, of course, the brainchild behind Voices of Contact.
Absolutely.
Who got a download, said, hey, you got to do this show.
Right.
Another great thing that came out of a download.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Mary Bassett, very well knowledge, very well known medium, but she also does a lot of work with MUFON. She helps. Now she does the regression side.
Yeah.
Or maybe you guys can explain to people what it means about having a regression done, how it would typically work. And the amazing part is she's done it for the last couple of years at the UFO Contact Convention, brought somebody up on stage, did this whole regression thing live in front of people.
Yeah.
That is truly amazing. So let's talk a little bit about Mary Bassett, a really good friend of ours, and
Yes. We
like I
love
said,
Mary.
and her amazing gifts that she brings.
Mhm.
Yeah, Mary's, like I said, one of our great friends, and you can't help but love her. And she's really, it's just fun to see people, you know, ascending and opening up to things. And she's just been on a roll up, just learning
Yeah.
stuff. And she's a psychic medium, but she's a channeler, but she's also came up with these, and she's in tune with what's going on. And she's definitely knows she's contacted the galactic
Right.
family. So
Well, she's a trained regressionist as well, and she's done a lot of following of Dolores Cannon. That name probably rings a bell to a few people in this field. And Mary is amazing at what she does. Her big focus is to help people remember. It's not always UFO related. Sometimes
Right.
she helps people through abuse and crimes and just
Yes.
all kinds of things. But her heart is beautiful, and we are very honored and pleased that she's with us again this year. She will be doing a live regression. We've talked about a few different things. We're not quite sure. We might do something different this year, but there will be a live regression again. And we give a lot of credit to the person who is willing to do that.
Yeah.
Last year, people that wanted a regression just kind of threw their name out. Mary picked a name and picked somebody out of the audience on the spot and did that regression, and it was pretty amazing.
Yeah, and I mean that takes a lot of guts for somebody to volunteer themselves up to hello, Michigan Bigfoot Rob. Glad you can join us, buddy. This is right up your alley. We're talking a lot all over the place here. But yeah, no, to be able to get up there and just kind of serve yourself up to be put under in a full
400 people, yeah.
to be put under in front of so many people, like that's to me is very vulnerable.
Mhm.
But what you get out of those regressions is so amazing, and it really helps because
Mhm.
anybody who knows that's had a traumatic experience, our brains turn it off and put it
Right.
in the back and tuck it away so that we don't
Mhm.
think about it every day.
Right.
Mary has been able to help those people open up that little door and really let it out to understand. And yeah, like you said, it's not always about alien visitations. It could be somebody people who suffer from PTSDs, like war vets and our frontline people, like the experiences they do. It's like a lot of tragedy happens and your brain shuts it off because that's
Mhm.
how mechanically wonderful our brain is. It will hide it from us. We
Yeah.
don't forget, but it kind of just doesn't want you to
Mhm.
keep living.
Right. Right. And that's
But
why regression is so beautiful. It's like a very deep meditation, or like a self hypnosis
right,
where, we're getting the conscious self out of the way and allowing the true self to be able to remember, to tap in and get the information that's needed.
And what's cool
yeah,
is whoever's listened to these regressions, we've got 90 some shows. She taps into the subconscious, and when she does that with people, you notice their voice changes, and that's pretty cool. I mean, because they're talking in a third person way and talking about the person that's being regressed, and it's a different part of you that's talking. It's really cool.
Mhm. Yeah. Sometimes ETs even come
Yeah,
through.
sometimes ETs come through and actually talk to Mary.
well, and that is the thing too, is like uh RJ's the one who really made me stand back and think about all my years as a paranormal investigator. When we're doing our EVP sessions and we're getting voices coming through, are they always spiritual? But no, RJ's the one go, are you sure it's not an alien coming through? Because they have the power to come through that way too. And
Yeah.
it's good that they, if they've got a message, they're going to find a way to get it to you.
Right.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
it's amazing that people like Mary been able to do that as well. Not just to help the person, but maybe they have a voice for somebody in that room.
Well, I always said, if I was younger, if I'd have realized this 30 years ago when I was doing the paranormal stuff, uh, go around and talk all to these paranormal groups and ask them, do they feel like something else was coming through, not a ghost, but maybe an extraterrestrial, mechanical voice, whatever. And it would have been interesting to do a book on that and see if somebody's young and wants to do it. I encourage them to do it. But it's a lot of time. You got to talk to a lot of people, a lot of teams.
Absolutely. So we are going to talk about another gentleman I'm not familiar with, but obviously you guys know him very well, Peter Robbins.
Peter Robbins is a legend in the ufology.
Yes.
He's been around for a long, long time. He's a number one bestseller author. He worked with Bud Hopkins back in the day. He's a friend of Cobble's and knows Deb. But yeah, he's done so much. He's done all kinds of shows and UFO conferences and really well
He
respected.
has a podcast as well.
Yeah.
Somewhere here.
Meanwhile,
on Earth,
yes.
or
Meanwhile, some here on Earth. But
meanwhile here on Earth.
very,
right?
yeah, he's very well respected throughout the ufology community, and we're excited to have him because he's not an easy person to get, but we have him on board the mothership, and he will be speaking. I can't
First
wait.
time. We're excited.
Yeah.
I can't wait to meet him.
And of course, we talked about these ladies just for a brief moment because they've done some work with Jason Kenzie as the She Squatchers.
Yay!
Are going to be there. Truly amazing ladies. Like I said, I love it because an all female Bigfoot research team. Now, there's a lot of guys that won't even go look for Bigfoot, but yet here we got three brave ladies walking into the woods trying to find Bigfoot. I mean, this is absolutely amazing. I love these ladies. We've had them on the show. Truly knowledgeable, and I mean, they bring some
Energy, yeah.
energy to the Bigfoot community for sure.
Yeah. They know their stuff. They're amazing. They make it fun, but they also take their work very seriously.
Right.
Oh yeah.
And
Yeah.
I love the way, they are also some badass women, excuse my language, but I can't help it, who see that it's all connected.
Yeah.
It's really all connected. You can't have one paranormal thing without the other.
Right.
We're
for
all
sure.
sharing this multi-dimensional universe, and it's all here. And they don't, they're not ones that sit back and do their nails and say, "Oh yeah, Bigfoot's out there somewhere." Just send somebody out. No, they get out in the field and do it.
And they
That's
work
right.
with Jason a lot. Jason Kennedy. They work with him.
Yeah. Like I said, I met two of the ladies last year, but we had them on our show. Like I said, they know their stuff, and I mean, they all come from different backgrounds, and they are complete sisters, and there's so much energy between all of them, and it's going to be so nice to see them there. Of course, a lady that I look forward to opening up my Facebook every morning to, because she has got some of the funniest posts. The Miss Dana Stricker, of course. Deb, you do a monthly show with her as well.
Get real with Deb and Dana.
Yep.
Sometimes we get too real, but it's who we are.
But Dana, another beautiful lady, a medium, but her energy, I just love her energy. She is such a sweetheart. But like I said, the posts that she made, anybody who follows her on Facebook, she makes your day because if you're having a crappy day, you read one of her posts, you're like laughing so hard you forget what you were even
Right.
sad about for the moment.
So true. So true.
Yeah, we really enjoy working with her because it brings a different perspective to the show, the Voices Contact, and that's what I like about it because we all have our own little different things going on. But yeah, she's a hoot, but she's also very smart lady.
I agree, Lee.
Yes, no, she has brought a lot to the Voices Contact panel as well.
Mhm.
Yeah. And she's had a lot of experiences, and she's kind of we're trying to get her regressed, and she's like holding back on it. But
Right. For the last few years, I've had a lot of Dana and I are really good friends, and I just love her to pieces. But she, oh, I have this mark, Deb. What is this? Well, after seeing several different markings and things like that, she, come to find out, has been having experiences probably all of her life.
Right.
She has not gotten to the point yet where she'll say, okay, I'll be regressed and really
Right.
So it's fun to watch her. She doesn't disbelieve, but she doesn't want to believe, if that makes sense. So but she knows it's happening. She knows what's happening.
Yeah, her personality is just, it is what it is, and it's happening.
Yeah,
she's just fun to watch. We were discussing things a couple of years or a year ago about the extraterrestrials want people like this that have abilities and stuff. That's why they visit people like that, all of you and people like that. So because they're interested in that.
Right.
So
well, and some of us, it's kind of like what came first, the abilities or the, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Some people think that once you've had experiences, you become psychic or intuitive or medium, whatever. And then some people think that because you are or have these abilities, then ETs have more interest in you. So but we don't know.
But
it does seem to go hand in hand. Go ahead.
And Tim Maria, who are your guests today, Dale? I don't think I've ever met them. Well, Tim,
and I missed that little.
If you would just get out of the house a little more often, Tim, make your way to Houghton Lake, you might meet them. They'll be there September 25th and 26th, Tim. They're beautiful people.
26, 27. Yeah.
26th, 27th, my bad. Don't listen to me. I don't know what I talk about.
Don't let him fool you. He's been here to hold.
The party begins on the 25th.
Yes, it does.
Oh, that's right.
Most of us are there on the 25th.
Tim, I'm so glad you could join us. Praying for you, brother. I hope you get well too. Of course, Tim Maria, everybody knows from the Old Mill Parafest. He himself is going through cancer. So we send a lot of prayers out to you, brother. I hope you kick this thing's ass just like everybody else is doing. But yeah, no, Dana, like I said, she's such a delight to be around and lightens up the party. Yeah, she's definitely one of those people you would not want on speakerphone in a public place. But that's her personality, and we love her for that.
Yeah. One of the things I love most about Dana is she's one of my friends. Well, I have many because I pick them. If you ask her something, expect
Oh, there we go. Look
Even
at that. I beat cancer. I'm now cancer free. That is the best news, Tim. Thank you so much for sharing that. And that's what we want to hear. Stories like Tim's.
Amen.
But yes, but Dana, yeah, she's such a delight to be around. And I'm so glad that I got introduced to her. Another lady, and for those that you are turning in, yes, we are going past the full 1 hour because we are not done
Sorry.
talking about this stuff.
I was going to ask you about it. Is that okay?
Yes, no, it's
Okay.
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 I run the show. Nobody runs
Okay.
me.
All right.
Love that.
Even KGRA is okay with it because we don't have anybody that follows us on Saturday nights at 1 a.m.
Nice.
This is the good thing.
Well, speaking of KGRA, we should say Mystical Awakenings is on KGRA every Thursday night at 7 p.m. Eastern.
7 p.m. Yes, you definitely got to watch their vodcast. Keep up Voices of Contact and Mystical Awakenings every week. Amazing guests, amazing shows. So somebody new that I've met through you guys, Cheryl and Carter.
Yeah.
Life. She's had experiences herself. She wrote a book about. I think her first book was about Skinwalker Ranch, a very well-known, documented phenomenon in itself. Is it?
Yeah, that
Is it
actually was
alien?
not-
Is it ghost? Is it what is it?
Yeah.
That's what we're all trying to figure out.
That was not her first book, but that
Yeah, she's
did
had
write
11 books, actually.
Cheryl has been around for a long time. She's a Michigan girl, a MUFON girl, knows her stuff. She spoke at Michigan UFO Contact, 3 years ago?
2 years,
4 years ago? I don't know. Anyways, we try to bring her back in every now and then because she's a phenomenal woman, knows her ufology, and
she's good friends with the people on Skinwalker Ranch and the owner. She's been in his office talking to him, and so yeah, she's like, I think she's co-author of 11 books, a couple of children's books. She's a psychic medium. She's a remote viewer. So yeah, we're excited to have her back and see what she's going to be talking about, and because she's a freelance writer and a researcher. So
then, of course, you have the head of the MUFON Michigan division, Bill Konkolowski, an amazing gentleman, lifelong. Before he was ever with MUFON, he had experiences himself.
Lifelong experiencer.
Yeah, and even to this day, I think he still gets his. I mean, so for people that don't know, he is the head of the UFO MUFON, Michigan, or
that's Mutual UFO Network,
yes,
worldwide network.
But we're actually convinced that he's not from here, so
he is not from this planet.
Yeah, Bill's not from this planet, so that's why he's doing all this.
We love Bill.
But the interesting story behind Bill, and he's talked about this at your event, he wasn't the only one in his family that was having these experiences. His brothers were having them as well.
Right.
And that's quite common. It's oftentimes generational and runs in the family. So a lot of
times, they did a show called All in the Family. That's what it's all.
But a lot of times, if one sibling is having experience, there's at least one other as well. So
yeah, that seems to be something that is not just. I mean, there are incidents where one person in the family has had the experiences and nobody else has had them. But yeah, no, Bill's story is very well. He's got a couple books out. I know he's got a book out. It is a couple, I believe, though.
Yeah, he's got a couple that. Yeah.
Just talking about his experiences and what he's went through.
Right.
But truly amazing gentleman, very nice. Very knowledgeable, like I said. He is. I mean, he is somebody who has to be on top of what's going on in the world because this is what his office takes care of. Yeah. When people report it, this is the type of people it goes to.
Yeah, he's been a director of MUFON for 17, 18 years, something like that. A long time.
This might even be year 19 or 20.
Yeah. So there's a lot of information that's come across his desk for sure.
Yeah, no, that's true. And of course, my favorite guy, somebody I just had on the show last week, a gentleman you bring in every year to MC the show. I don't know if he's ever admitted to having an experience or not, but where he lives up in the UP, I would not have doubted. Of course, we're talking about Mr. Tim Ellis, of course, the voice of
Yes.
the UFO Contact Convention, the guy that helps run the stage all weekend long, which is
Absolutely. He's amazing. Yeah.
Yeah, he's the backbone for sure, and one amazing, amazing human being. Um, he's just, we love him so much. But he's so important. His role, people think of the MC as somebody that just gets up there and introduces people. Tim takes this very seriously. He gets to know every speaker, everything that's happening, and he runs it. He does.
Yeah.
We would be so lost without Tim Ellis.
And as we all know, him and his team with Brad Blair and the paranormal, how do you say that?
the
PP.
Upers.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, they put on the
Peninsula.
best. They did put on. I mean, they did this year after like 14 years, put on the biggest paranormal convention in the world. As far
The
as I'm
best.
concerned. Yeah, the best. Up in the Sault Ste. Marie.
Yeah, that's of course where I got to meet you guys. Of course.
Yep.
Yeah, that we will always talk how much the Michigan Paranormal Convention has really brought this community together, brought a lot of like-minded people together, and we're so grateful for Tim and Brad and their team for putting on such an amazing event, and it will definitely be missed this year. They do have a great event, the Great Ghostly Weekend that is coming up. And at the end of this month. So yeah, guys, go over, check those guys out. Still show them some love and support. They are still doing it. They are still out there. They got their hands on a lot of pies right now, so they're keeping busy. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Always well.
I want to, before I don't mean to interrupt you, I want to make sure that you guys understand that we just don't do this alone. We have a partner, Mike Smith, who
Yes,
he makes us look so good. He's our graphic artist. He's the one that gives us all the great details and makes it look pretty and banners and
he
all these
found John
things you see on the
England,
speakers. Yeah. And,
who does our shirts.
right. So we got a shout out to him. He's amazing.
And Mike does one of the hardest jobs there is, and that's to keep me calm during the event. I always say you're the calm to my storm, because for some reason, I guess because he's a Virgo like RJ, I can be just freaking out, and he'll look at me and put a hand up, and I know, okay. He can calm me.
Well, we were born on the
Not
same
easy.
day, so
yeah. No, everybody who is involved in putting together this amazing show event. You guys, like everybody on the team, really runs so smoothly each and every year. Yeah, Deb can be running around the building, put her hands up, and everybody's be like, "Oh, don't worry, she'll calm down."
Yeah.
Uh,
That's what Mike's for.
but we are definitely not going to leave this show without talking to one of our dearest and beloved people, who is making a trip back to Michigan this year in the midst of dealing with cancer herself. And of course, for that, everybody who knows, we're talking about Andrea Perrin, somebody who is, once again, since I believe it could have been even sooner, but from the age of 13, living in the Conjuring house, started having experiences with UFOs.
Yeah.
Somebody who brings so much light, so much peace, so much joy to this event, like I said, and I'm so glad that she is going to be there. Kind of the reason why I'm going to jump in somebody's trunk and get across the border. So anybody who's driving from Ontario going over to the UFO Convention, slow down, pop up the trunk so I can jump in.
There you go.
Andrea Perrin, I mean, there's not enough kind words we can say about this lady, and just how brave and how strong she truly is.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can say, she did come to Michigan, in April?
Yeah.
And we did a mystical retreat weekend that, we do twice a
Yes.
year, and did massive healing on Andrea. And she was phenomenal. She did so well that weekend, was happy, was dancing, was singing. She did great. Since then, she has had a little turn with the cancer. As most people know, she has talked about it on her show, and is on a different chemo that's a little harder on her, a lot harder on her. So yes, Andrea's planning on coming, and we're planning on Andrea being there. But I do want to say, if she's not feeling up to it, I will not hold her to that. RJ will not hold her to that.
No.
She is fully.
She's definitely connected to the galactic family.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Strong connections.
Yeah, she was not with us last year because she was it was relatively new, her diagnosis, and just going through this beginning of treatments. But yes, for those of us who know Andrea quite well and follow the stuff that are praying for her and everything, there was a Facebook page that is called Andrea's Angels. Get together every Saturday night, 8 p.m.
8 p.m.
And just send out good, positive vibes, not only to Andrea, but to everybody who needs healing in the world.
Yeah.
And I just got to talk about this for a brief second because this is one of the most. I got to do this without crying because it was so profound and what I went through when Deb last year at the last UFO contact or UFO, not the UFO, the Michigan Paracon, we went out into the parking lot and we did a healing circle in honor of Andrea and at that time Tim and of course Chris Fleming and Shay Lee and anybody who knew people who needed healing. We all went outside and we did this amazing circle. You and Rupert really got in there, and RJ led us through a prayer, and the feelings of everybody.
It's amazing.
It just talking about it right now brings me right back to that moment. And for what moment there was a group of us, and there had to be like 75, maybe even 100 of us out there.
Right.
For all one brief moment in time, we were all holding hands and loving the world.
Right.
The world needs more of that right now. And
absolutely.
And that's where this ascension is taking us, Dale.
Yeah.
That higher love, that true connection that we do have with one and all.
Yes.
That is, love is the
That's where it's at, man.
Yeah. You guys do it also at the UFO Contact Convention. It's usually Saturday nights. We'll go outside. We did it last year at the UFO Contact Convention because
Friday and
Andrea wasn't there. Rupert did it last year at the UFO Contact Convention, I believe.
Yep.
I
Well, he
believe
helped. Yes, he helped. Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, like I said, it's once again one of those amazing things that you guys do as a part of this event is to do stuff like that. And like I said, it's I was so grateful that I got to be a part of it. It was so funny. I was trying to transmit it live on our show, and nobody's device wanted to stay connected. That's how powerful this was, and I'll never forget that. And I love that I was there to share that moment with everybody in that group, and just how much the paranormal community comes together
Right.
when it really matters. We are truly passionate people, and like I said, your guys' event is just that. It brings that peace and love and happiness in so many people. You walk in maybe feeling a little bit down, feeling a little bit different, but you leave with new connections and a newfound look of life. So I want to say thank you for putting on such an amazing event and for doing what you guys do in the community and bringing so much love and joy and peace to the world. So
Well, it's not
thank you
possible.
from the Paranormal Voice. And
Yes, it's not possible without you and everybody else to be a part of it. So we're just two people that do it, and all of you guys make it happen.
So
Yeah,
yes, we such an amazing lineup, guys. If you don't have your tickets, please go to the website you see on your screen right now, miufocon.com. All your ticket information. As always, Lakeshore Resort is fully booked at this point. It is fully booked. But there are some great locations close by that you can still get a room.
Less than 2
be a
minutes
part of
away. Yeah, less than 2 minutes away. The American Suites are giving out deals on their rooms too.
and there's other ones,
Yeah.
but yes, American Inn and Suites. Also, like the Lakeside Resort does a block of rooms if you say that you are attending the UFO contact.
Right.
You get a special rate.
So, guys, there you have it. I want to thank Deb and Arjay for taking the time out of their busy schedule in their preparing mode, because September 26th and 27th is going to be upon us in absolutely no time. So, guys, get your tickets, get out to this event, meet some amazing people, take it all in, and it is a weekend well worth doing. Lakeside Resort is such a beautiful location as well. Take that
It's
all
on
in.
the
Houghton Lake.
largest inland lake in Michigan.
There you go.
Beautiful.
Yeah, and it's one of the most popular sites for a UFO. And if Andrea's there, you know they're going to be showing up.
That's
So,
right.
guys, you want a UFO experience?
Yeah, they'll be there.
Head down there with Andrea in Michigan. You know there's going to be sightings.
Yeah. Yep.
So, guys, thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. Thank you so much for
Thank you for having
just
us
being
on.
who you guys are. RJ, Deb, I love you guys.
Love you too,
guys
man.
mean so much
Love you,
to
Dale.
the Paranormal Voice. I hope that I am going to be able to cross over and be a part of it. Not with the Paranormal Voice, like I said, it was a hard decision to make this year, but if all things go well, we'll be back at the UFO Contact Convention next year for sure. You got the Cryptid Paranormal Show coming in,
Goose.
and the Goose is gonna be there, taking it his first UFO Contact Convention.
Yeah.
Nice.
I'm so happy about that. That's gonna be so thrilling. So, guys, thank you so much, everybody on the side. Thank you for watching.
Thank you, Dale.
Love all of you guys. Thank you.
Watch their show, Mystical Awakening, every Thursday night, 7 p.m., as well as Voices of Contact every Friday night at 8 p.m. Truly two amazing shows. And you can catch Deb and Arjay, of course, on KGRA Digital Media. That's where you can find the podcast as well as the Paranormal Voice. We're all on there. And don't forget Andrew's show every Friday at 9 and 10, I believe. You have
Soul
starts
School
out
at
with Soul
9.
School, and then Mystical, not Mystical,
World
Awakening.
Awakening.
World Awakening
Yep.
with Andrea appearance. So, guys, go over there, show Andrea some love each and every week. So, guys, that's going to do it for us. Thank you for hanging in there for an extra full half an hour. We can never get enough of these guys. Deb, RJ, take care of yourselves. RJ, Get well, brother.
I will, man.
We're all
I will.
praying for you
Thank you.
to
Thank you.
get back to being the old wizard self that you are.
That's right.
We
Somebody
love
put
you,
a spell
Jay.
on me. I'll take care of it.
So, guys, stay tuned. We have another episode of the Paranormal Voice coming up August 30th with, of course, the lovely MJ Dixon talking about Sage Paracon and everything spooky with MJ Dixon. That is going to be a special show August 30th. It is a Saturday afternoon just because she's coming all the way, transmitting all the way in from the UK. So I look forward to that. UFO Contact Convention once again, September 26th and 27th, Houghton Lake, Michigan, Lakeshore Resort and Conference Center. Check it out, guys. Be there. In the meantime and in between time, like our good friend Michael John likes to say, happy hauntings.
Bye, everybody.